Welcome to Topper Talk, your number one Western Kentucky athletics podcast. I'm your host, Stephen Moffitt, and I'm joined by co-host Tyler Bailey. Hilltopper Nation, whether it's happening on the hill or on the road, grab those red towels, stand up and cheer, because it's up next on Topper Talk. All right, welcome back, and thank you for downloading and listening to another episode of the Topper Talk podcast, the official podcast of the Red Towel Trust Collective. And we are a member of the College Huddle podcast community. If you're not already doing so, give us a follow on all the social medias. And another thing you can do to help us out, whatever platform you're listening on, give us a rate, a review, leave a comment, drop a like. We'd love to hear your feedback on how we're doing. Help us out with the algorithm. And as always, this episode is brought to you by the Fireman Moving Company. The Fireman Moving Company is the official moving company of WKU Athletics. Not only can they be trusted to move all the coaches in and out of Western, but they can move you anywhere nationwide. The Fireman Moving Company is owned and operated by firemen and is founded by WKU alumni. If you're looking to move sometime soon, give them a call at 270-791-1755 and get yourself a free quote. Let the pros do it. They'll get you moved fast and efficient and just make your life easier, I promise you. Got Tyler here with me, man. We're continuing the position series breakdown, man. You ready to dive in?
Yeah, man, today's going to be a good one. Let's get into it and let's unpack these players that we're going to be talking about.
But before we do that, we have to dive into our Red Towel wrap-up, which is brought to you by Trent Bedding Company and catches us up on all the athletic news that we've missed since we last recorded. So let's get a word from Trent Bedding.
Don't forget your headboard, pillows, and your sheets. We got everything you need for a good night's sleep. Number one on the same check, best of Bowling Green.
All right. Hey! Twins, full, queen and king, mattresses for anything. Come and pick it out and we can bring it to your house. Have you sleeping real good before the weekend's out. Trent Bedding. It's just like a mattress store. Hey.
And also, I'm not going to lie, a few years ago, I went to Trent Bedding and I built my own pillows, right? Because I had that pillow build machine there. Dude, I put some down filling in them pillows. Still sleep on them to the day. They're so comfy. But let's get into the Red Towel wrap-up. Starting off, WKU baseball pitcher Jacob Bemby was drafted in the MLB draft by the Pirates in the 11th round, pick 364. Closer Mason Burns was selected by the Cardinals in the 14th round, pick 411th. And pitcher Grant Burleson selected by the Astros in the 18th round, pick 553. Congrats to our newest pro tops.
Yeah, 3 Hilltoppers drafted in the Major League Baseball draft. We had the most selections in Conference USA, which I just think is a tribute to the team and the turnaround that Coach Rardin and staff have had in just 2 years. So obviously, congratulations to those guys, and I'm looking forward to watching them as they continue their pro careers, and obviously, continue to watch what that baseball program does as they're still on the rise.
Moving on, WKU volleyball coach Jenna Otek signed with the Grand Rapids Rise of the Professional Volleyball League. Congratulations, Jenna.
Yeah, so she's now teammates with Paige Briggs-Romine, who I think we announced one of our last couple episodes had signed with them here in the off season. So Coach Jenna Otek had been with us for a couple years now. I guess she got the itch to play professionally. She had been coaching for a few years now. She came from Purdue. She was a 2-time All-American there at Purdue. So she was a pretty good libero when she was playing, and she's not very far removed from her playing days. So she decided to give it a try. I think that is going to be it for her coaching days for now. I don't think she can do both. But we look forward to watching and supporting whatever she does in the Professional Volleyball League.
Moving on to softball, WKU softball announced the addition of Lindsay Warwick as their director of operations. Welcome to the Hill, Lindsay.
Yeah, it looks like a good hire. She came from Indiana University from what I saw. She gave us a follow immediately when we tagged her and said congratulations and welcome to the Hill. So congratulations to her and welcome to the Hill, Lindsay.
The WKU basketball versus Jackson State date was revealed as being played on November 20th by Jackson State's X account.
Yeah, the WKU basketball schedule is just, I mean, it seems like every day there's another game coming out. We're getting real close to having a full non-conference schedule completed, and the conference schedule's already been released. So, you know, by the end of this month or maybe early August, it feels like we're going to have that full schedule and kind of know what that looks like. The roster is done. We're looking at some 2025 commitments coming up here soon. So really excited for the basketball schedule and how that's shaping up.
The WKU football game at Sam Houston on 10/16 has been changed to a 6 p.m. kickoff instead of a 7 p.m. kickoff.
Hey, 1 hour earlier for us old heads here that want to get to bed early, or somebody that's going to have a newborn at home or has to be up at 3 o'clock every morning. I'm sure Tyler's not mad that the game's going to start at 6, be over by 9ish or so. So, might be able to get some sleep with the baby and with work at 3 a.m. the next day. So good move, I think.
Oh, I agree with you. It's a great move. Hopefully, I get some sleep because I'm probably going to be losing some. WKU basketball got a commitment in the class of 2025 from Armello Boone. He is a 6'3" guard from Lexington, Kentucky.
Yeah, he looks like a really good player. When we shared his commitment, the first thing I naturally did was went looking for some clips, some highlights. Found some of his AAU playing clips, and he's a really athletic, plays above the rim. He's aggressive, looks to be a good defender, good scorer. And obviously he has another year high school ball ahead of him, and then he'll be on the hill this time next year. So really excited for that first commitment in the 25 class. Congratulations, Armello.
And that concludes the Red Towel Wrap-Up, brought to you by the Trent Bedding Company, where if you want good pillows, go there. Moth, back to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Really good Red Towel wrap-up. A lot of good news and good information there. But we are continuing the 2024 WKU Football Position Series breakdown. Now we're going to move our attention to the running back group, and they are coached by Andre Crenshaw, who's returning to coach the running backs this year. And they are ranked the number 8 unit in Conference USA, which is only ahead of Kennesaw State and Sam Houston State University. Part of me thinks that ranking is more due to our usage of the running back and not necessarily the talent that we have in the running back room. Because if you look at our running back room, we've got a good stable. We have a really good running back one and some good runners behind them as well. So, I really think that ranking is due to our pass rush mix. I could be wrong, but we can talk about it. I don't agree with number 8, but we'll talk about it for sure. First off, let's talk about the players that we lost from the running back room. First off, we lost Marquise Stepp. He exhausted his eligibility. He signed a rookie minicamp invite with the Jets, and he recently was waived from the injured reserve with an injury settlement. So obviously we wish the best of luck to Marquise and hope he gets healthy and gets another shot. We lost Davion Irving Poindexter. He exhausted his eligibility. Then we lost running back Teron Keith. He committed here in January and then transferred in April. So, barely unpacked his bags and decided to transfer to USF down in Florida, closer to home where he's from. So best of luck, Teron. But Tyler, talk to me about these guys we lost and how that's going to affect this running back room this year.
Well, Marquise Stepp, the second leading rusher on the team, he had 69 carries for 300. I'm sorry, is that 15? No, 69. Nice. For 320 yards. He only lost 10 yards, so a net of 310. He had 3 touchdowns, and he averaged 4.5 yards per carry. And Davion Irvin Poindexter had 63 yards for 249 yards. 63 carries, 249 yards per, had 8 touchdowns, and he also had 1 TD. But he was also a receiver. He would catch some in the backfield, or he would catch the screens or something like that. So with them being gone, we are returning good running backs. One thing that you touched on was we were ranked number 8. I believe that has to do sometimes with the running back by committee. We don't have a featured back, and I believe once you get someone who can get in rhythm, I believe that helps out because he's able to get more of the line share. He's able to get used to it. So maybe is this year we see that come to an end? Maybe, I don't know. But I mean, Marquis Step, he was a bigger boy who could. I mean, he was stout. He could get them short yardage for you. And then Davion Urban Poindexter, he was kind of like the little quicker one who could get out to the corners and get into open space. So with them gone, it's going to be tough. The one Tori and Keith, sorry you didn't like it here. I hope you enjoy it down at USF. Maybe you'll get some playing time, but I think the running back room is in good shape, and I think we're going to easily rebound and prove we're not the 8th ranked unit in the conference.
Yeah, we've got to talk about the talent that we added to the roster to replace those guys that we lost. First off, we added running back Jalen Hampton. He's a transfer from Elon. He is number 30. He's a 5'8", 189-pound redshirt junior. Then we added George Hart III. He is a transfer from Arizona State. He's number 32. He's 5'11" and 209 pounds. He is a redshirt junior. And I know his dad is listening. He comments on every YouTube episode we put up. So appreciate you, Mr. Hart. Thank you. We're here talking about your son. Can't wait to see him on the field. Then we also added Donovan Jones. He is a high school signee. He's number 34. He's a 5'9", 191-pound freshman. Then we also added Javon McMahon, also a high school signee. He's number 28. He's a 5'10", 190-pound freshman. And then lastly, we added Dallin Ponder, also a high school signee. He's number 25, 5'9", and 173 pounds, and a true freshman. So Tyler, talk to me about some of these guys we added to the roster and what you expect to bring to this team.
Well, I'm really excited about Jalen Hampton. He, like I said, he played at Elon. He originally committed to Virginia Tech. I think he left there. He didn't play no games for Virginia Tech, but in 2023 at Elon, he started 11 of the team's games as running back. He rushed for 880 yards and 6 touchdowns, and he also added 41 yards on 9 receptions. His 80 yards rushing per game ranked 26th in the country, and he carried the ball at least 10 times in every game in 2023. So I feel like he's going to be, that if we have to, sub someone in, you go through LT, you go through Elijah. I believe Jalen is definitely going to be there to be someone who can back him up. And George Hart III, transferred from Arizona State. I'm excited about him coming in. I looked at his height and weight, 5'11", 209 pounds. Dude could be a bowling ball going through there. I believe he could come in and immediately help on them short yardage. If you need 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 3, give the ball to him and let him just truck people. And he can. I think I looked up some of his stats. He can catch the ball. And, with him being the runner, he could be a dual threat. Hopefully he expanded his game in the offseason, and he can come in and be an immediate help. The 3 high school signees, I think they'll be good in the future. I don't know how much playing time they'll see because, we have 4 upperclassmen or 4 guys who have experience. And, hopefully they can sit back and they can learn from the starters or, 2nd string, 3rd string, just the different running backs going in. And in the future can definitely be a star running back here.
Yeah, I think a couple of those guys, particularly Jalen Hampton and George Hart III, I think those guys are going to immediately be competing for who's that running back too. Who's that guy when the starter comes out that's going to come in and take the rest of the carries. You said earlier we talked about the running back by committee. That's kind of been, our staple the last few years. We've leaned on 2, 3, 4 running backs. Rotated guys in. Never really let anybody get a rhythm, get hot, and just really get running downhill. I think that might change this year. I think we're going to see us settle in on one running back that gets 60-70% of the carries. And then the other 2-3 guys that come in are just going to be, hopefully not for injury, but obviously if it's tired or situation in the game, just whatever's going on and the starter has to come out, I think those guys are going to pick up the rest of that workload. Now looking at some of the other guys that are also on the roster, we have Corey Landers. He's number 27. He's a 5'8", 185-pound sophomore. And then we have LT Sanders, number 7, who is a 5'8", 195-pound junior. Tyler, what about these guys and what we can expect from them?
Well, LT Sanders, he had 31 carries for 138 yards and an average of 3.8 yards per carry. He also had 8 receptions for 69 yards. Nice. And a long of 19. And Corey Landers, he didn't see no action in last season. So, he's still kind of an unknown quantity or so quality. So we don't know exactly what we're getting with him, or at least I don't. Hopefully he can come in and prove himself in this offseason and in fall camp. And maybe he'll surprise me. But I'm excited to see LT Sanders coming back, because I feel like he's also going to be one fighting for, second string or to come off the bench quick if we need him or someone gets hurt. But I'm glad we at least got someone with experience coming back that's not the starting running back.
Yeah, we definitely have a lot of depth there. With the guys we added to the roster, then those also on the roster. LT Sanders, I mean, he's just been electric the last couple of years here. Obviously, really glad he's here. He's a big change of pace, home run threat every time he touches the ball. He could be gone. If he gets a seam, in that offensive line and gets past your second level, you're probably not going to catch him. He's gone. Now we have to talk about the projected starter, and that is Elijah Young, a.k.a. Izzy. He is number 3, 5'9", 190-pound senior. Last year, we talked about that, that rotation. We had multiple backs we were leaning on. As the year progressed, he kind of separated himself from the pack and made his case for, hey, I am running back 1. I'm the guy. He kind of got known for hurdling over guys. That can be risky. You're looking at potential injury there, but he obviously is a heck of an athlete, a heck of a running back. Transferred here the year before last from Missouri, and is right now. I think it's going to be hard to knock him off of being that starter, that running back 1. So Tyler, what are you expecting from Elijah being the starter, potentially being the workhorse of this running back room?
Well, I'm actually expecting a lot from him because last year he had 104 carries, 499 yards gained. He lost 25 yards for a net of 447 or 474. He's got 3 touchdowns and he averaged 4.6 yards per carry. I would like to see that go up a little bit because, I know our bread and butter the last few years have been passing, and I'm thrilled with that. But I would like to see us try to make the defense more honest and make them wonder if we're going to run the ball and have a high threat running back. And I think Elijah Young can do that. He's got plenty of highlight moves, so I'm expecting a lot from him this season.
Yeah, he's definitely. I think he's poised to have a big season. Well, I'll just say that before we get into our 4 questions. I think he's poised to have a big season in 2024. So now, jumping into those 4 questions, who is going to be your hardest to replace in the running back room?
Shoot, sorry, should have muted that. I'm not used to that. I'm gonna go Marquise Stepp. I liked him ever since I first saw him. I guess last spring during the spring game, or when I guess it'd be 2 springs ago. I thought he was a strong, stout boy, and I just knew if he got the ball in his hands and he could and he wanted to, he was going to run over any linebacker that he wanted to. So I'm going to go Marquise Stepp.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Marquise Stepp is my hardest to replace as well. I mean, he was that big bruiser back. He wasn't one that was necessarily going to make you miss, but he would probably run over you and run through you, short yardage, goal line, whatever it was. You felt pretty comfortable handing him the ball. So definitely going to miss him. Glad he got an opportunity in the NFL with the Jets. Unfortunately, there was an injury there, but we hope he heals up and obviously gets another chance somewhere in the league, whether it be the Jets or somewhere else. But Marquise Stepp is also my hardest to replace. Who do you have as your breakout player for the running back room?
All right, so this one I'm going to go with Jalen Hampton. He does have playing experience, and he did total 1,933 yards in 22 starts in 2 yards at Elon. So that's going to be my breakout player of the unit.
Yeah, again, I'm right there with you. And just another disclaimer, we don't share notes. We don't compare notes when it comes to these questions. I don't know what you're going to say. You don't know what I'm going to say, but I'm also right there with you. I think Jalen Hampton will likely see more carries than what George Hart does. He was my other kind of coin flip of who this may be. But I think Hampton's right there in that position with his experience and the workload that he may get this season. I think he might be somebody that's spelling Elijah Young a lot more. And just with his resume, his workload that he's handled in the past, I think he's somebody that can step in and not miss a beat. So also give me Jalen Hampton. Who is going to be your MVP for the running back room?
This one's also going to be Elijah Young. Coming I hope he has a repeat performance of last season. I actually hope his performance this season is better than that one and trumps that last season's performance. I hope he puts up big yardage and he just runs all over teams this season, man. So yeah, for me it's Elijah Young.
Yeah, I think Elijah Young is the obvious answer. We've kind of both have alluded to him being running back one, expecting more of a workload from him. He was kind of juggling that starting rotation last year with him and Davion and Marquise Stepp and even LT Sanders. They were all for seeing carries last year, depending on the game, depending on the situation, depending on a lot of things. But I think like I said earlier, it became very evident, very clear as the year went on that Elijah Young was the best athlete and the best running back in that room. So, this year I think he has separated himself from the pack. I think he's going to be the clear-cut running back one, and he's going to be the guy that kind of leads us in that rushing department and can catch the ball in the backfield. And if you've been playing with him on College Football 25, that man's a monster. He's our fastest player on the team on the video game. And if you get him the ball in a wheel route, he's gone. And hopefully that translates over to the 2024 season. But definitely Elijah Young for me. He's going to be the MVP of this running back room. Now give me your bold prediction for the running backs.
All right, so I remember last year's bold prediction was that we was going to have like 1,000-yard rusher. First time since Ace Wells. I'm staying on that this year. I believe if we have a featured back, we stop with the swapping in and out mid series. I believe if we just have one running back the majority of the time, and if it's Young, I'm calling it right now, we will have a 1,200 plus yard rusher, which would be freaking awesome. Last 1,000-yard rush we had was Ace Wells. It's been too long. It's time to break that drought. Give me Elijah Young, 1,200 yards.
Woo. Yeah, I'm not going that hot. I did remember that was your hot take last year. I remembered it and I was like, I think he's going to go back to the well on that one. And maybe if you added up all four running backs, maybe we did have a 1,000-yard rusher last year. We just divvied it up among the four guys. I'm not sure if we had 1,000 yards rushing between those guys, but you're looking it up. I like it. Yeah. But that's a bold take. I'm not sure if Elijah will get enough carries to get there, but I do think. What did you say? He had 3 touchdowns last year, 4 touchdowns. What was it? 3. Yeah, I think he's going to definitely increase that number. I think he's going to hit double digits in touchdowns this year. Give me 10. Give me 10 touchdown end zone visits. And I've already told him, I've already planted the seed. I said, hey, bub, you get in the pay dirt. You come give the tent some love. Come give us some love back there behind the end zone. Give me Elijah Young 10 plus touchdowns next year, a considerable leap from 3 last year. So definitely bold prediction there. Man, these position breakdowns now are coming down, nearly to an end. We've kind of booked through them this off season. The season is drawing ever closer. We're about 5-6 weeks away from now from going to Alabama, going to Tuscaloosa August 31st, and kicking off the season with an upset at Alabama in prime time, an evening game under the lights. So, man, this has been a really, really, really fun episode. Just a really fun exercise talking about, every position on this roster. If your name as a football player is listed in the Field Steel magazine, or it's listed on the transfer portal tracker pages, or if it's listed on the WKU Sports online football roster, we have said your name, we have said your number, your height and your weight, your class, and at least talked about you briefly and what we expect from you, either as a new player, as a returning player, or as a potential starter. So, I really enjoy and look forward to this part of our podcasting process as we prepare for the football season. We've said it multiple times. It makes us better fans. We become more knowledgeable of the roster, who we lost, who's coming back, what kind of production, who's going to need to step up, who the go-to players are going to be. And it just really makes us better fans, better observers of our football team. And hopefully the people listening and tuning in to every position are taking away the same things that we are, seeing that we have a lot of talent on this football team in every single position. All of our positions, except for running back, I think we're highly ranked by Field Steel. And we talked about the running back rankings, why we think they were so low. But there is a lot of talent on this team. It is expected that Liberty is going to be, the clear-cut favorite, coming into this year. Media Day is just a week away as we're recording now. Those preseason rankings will come out real soon, leading up to next Tuesday. Liberty's going to have all the votes for number one, and it's going to be us and Jacksonville State 2 and 3. You can almost guarantee that, but we have enough talent and returning talent and known talent on this roster, and we've added to what we've lost from last year, that we can for sure compete for the conference championship. We're not out of it. This time last year we were the favorite. We thought with the pieces we had returning that we should be the clear-cut favorite on paper to win the conference championship. But that's why you play the games. We don't on paper we had a really good football team, but we went through a lot of adversity, a lot of injuries, and just new names, new people, new places, new coaches, and just didn't win as many ball games as we would have liked to have won. Clean slate. We start all over 2024, new football team, some new coaches, some new players, and a lot of returning players and coaches as well. So, we definitely have the team and the ability to make some noise and go out there and compete for a championship. That is the expectation. We want to make a bowl game every year. We want to play for a championship every year. And we definitely have the team and the coach and the players that can go out and do that. And I'm excited that we got to talk about all of them. And I'm looking forward, to this season starting in just, it's like 46 days away at this point. It's really close. It's really close at this point. So I'm really excited for that. Obviously this position series breakdown has been fun. Our next episodes will be the season preview, and then we'll get into that week 1 preview with Alabama just shortly after that, before that week 1 matchup. So, man, it's here. College football, the football game is here, and now the season is here. So, Tyler, hit us with your final words and take us on out of here.
Yeah, you was talking about the lowest ranking units on WKU. You know, our defensive line was 7, linebackers are 6. I don't feel like they are warranted to be that low. Yes, we have lost some players, and yes, we are rebuilding. But I mean, if there's one thing Helton can do, and that we've seen, it's that he can get players from the portal. He can fill holes, and he can make those guys play. I'm excited to hear the pads, you know, hit each other. I'm ready to hear the roar of the crowd in Houchin Smith Stadium and watch the games that I can't make to on TV or to listen to Randy Lee on the radio. This, like you said, and I'm going to echo you, this position breakdown has been fun. It's been educational. You know, doing homework with each other, or not with each other, but doing homework, and then, you know, comparing notes, comparing the 4 questions that had to be answered at the end of every episode. It's crazy that our wide receivers were mostly tonight. I think was the most that our answers, you know, matched up. But I can't wait to be back in Houchin Smith Stadium to see these guys play, because I know they're going to try their best. I know they're going to put on a show. It's going to be a great season. Liberty, I never heard of her. MTSU, you know, I know there was on Twitter, there was some spat between like one of their dudes versus it was someone, and it wasn't you, was it? Where it was like the guy posted a picture of My Pretty Little Pony or whatever coming out of the tunnel. It was looking like a little furry that deserves absolutely no respect whatsoever. It's a cute mascot. I'm not going to say it's terrifying. Big Red will at least eat you. He has done that to fans and cheerleaders alike. But you know, I'm not scared of any player, any team in Conference USA, because they can be beaten. I don't care who MTSU got as a head coach. You're still trash. You know, this year's not going to be your year. Your quarterback, every time we play you, he just keeps throwing interceptions to us. Our defense is his best offensive player. So I think, you know, I think this is going to be a great year for WKU football. I'm ready to play college football 25. I didn't get the pre-order edition, so I got to wait a little bit longer. But I mean, this is fun. Phil Steele, our Bible, WKUsports.com, very helpful as always. And I think it's awesome that, you know, every player that commits their name or their sales to this university gets talked about and gets shown at least some respect for what they put their selves and what they put their body through. Because football, tough sport, you know, especially college football. They're beat up and they still get up every morning ready to do it again. So with that said, I will say, let's go Tops. Get ready to play some football. Can't wait to be able to watch it. Hopefully I'll be able to go down to Alabama. Hopefully our child's coming soon. So it's looking like I may be able to, because I may be able to get away for a little bit. And I'll be able to make my first trip down to Tuscaloosa. I'm excited about that. Can't wait to be there as we beat Alabama. I'm calling it. You know, I'm going to put on them red lenses of my glasses and just wear the hell out of them. But with that, I'll say, Moff, who has better than us, bro?
Nobody, buddy. You always know it.
You know.
Go Tops.
Go Tops, y'all.
Later, guys.
See you.